Hey, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your co-pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our flight into the constellations of characters, of meaning making of the Chinese language. Last time we talked about 一鼓作气. 一鼓作气 describes in battlefield, you are on the first drumming, you're at the peak of your morale. So basically the army has the strongest will to go out to kill. That's the first drumming. And eventually it's dying down. Like because the killing is already done, as your results already out, you already see bloodshed, either of your soldiers on your side or the enemy side. In either case, it's going to affect your qi, the way you feel about things, right? So it's on the first drum, that's when you're going to be at your best. Okay, qi, we're going to continue. So that airflow image becomes standardized into this character qi. And that's an important concept because it can just mean air or gas. Chinese, we really multitask a character, but most essentially qi for Chinese is this energy flow in you. Like you have positive or negative energy and how to control and direct your energy. That's a whole, art of living, basically. So important character combined with yu. Okay, yu looks like this. When you see this, I don't know, in a Western dining, fancy dining, they have this big like hemisphere thing, right? With a knob on top. That's like a container to hold the food, a hot air in, and to serve you hot, right? That's, fancy restaurant dining. So it's a similar structure and it's kind of comparable. Like we're seeing sideways of this view of this arch with a knob on top. So I hope that helps you to remember. Like this eventually simplifies that because this takes too long to draw it all out, but that's the original form. It simply means it's a container or it's a shelter that you have this roof over you. That's the structure. And so we use a lot of meaning related to homemaking, or simply being at home, or feel safe. Like all that characters have this arch with a knot on the top thing. So this is something related to space, more likely your living space, but in any case, it's a space. And we talked about something like that before, right? This came from pronunciation. So this is like a stop of that pronunciation. And then this, like your airflow from your pipe, right? You try to pronounce and it will have barriers. So your teeth, your tongue are forming different cavity or tunnel, the cross-sectional tunnel will be moderate and bit wider or narrower to create different sound quality. And so this is something related to your breathing, your pronunciation. It's essential function for humans, right? To be able to speak properly. But it was used as a sound maker because it sounds like a yu, and now here it's just yu. So we have the meaning of this space, this shelter thing, and we have the sound of yu and something related to breathing, right? I try to read not only the sound maker as a sound, but also meaning. So we have this binary thing here, right? We have one that's sound not going over, and the other one is the sound going over. And then we have this space over there. It means universe. So eventually this word applies to universe, but I'm pretty sure like in ancient times, the concept of universe probably is starry filled darkness, nothingness, like, there's really not much that we can do back then to, get outer space exploration. So I guess people back then can only imagine what the universe would like. So that's the concept, the human understanding of universe keep changing over time, but that's the, back then, that's how universe was described. It's a space, right? And there's some air going in. So the energy field, right? Either it goes through or it didn't go through. So I would like to think it like that. So 气宇, actually, 气, if it used as a human energy, like contained within you, right? And you yourself, it's kind of that container of yourself. Like this is your space. This is what within you that you can control. You have this air flowing over there, over inside. So that eventually qi and you combined becomes like your energy field contained in your universe, like within you. Your body is the visual one, but that's as your borderline, right? This is you, and then eventually the meaning combined becomes somebody's air or manner. That's the appearance, like how people feel the aurora, not aurora, but the halo, right, of this person, like that this person carry positive or negative, like if we want to describe, right? So that qi becomes somebody's character, somebody's presentation, like appearance, for the lack of word in the English concept. And the xuan ang, xuan is this, left and right side. The left side is 车 is carriage, I guess, cart, the ancient travel vehicle. That's much simpler than the car we have, right? It's a cart with a T at the end. So it does have wheels, right? So people even draw the wheels in, and it has some structure, has some beam running in the middle. So it's a kind of like a mechanical structure back then already to facilitate the traveling. And this, with this structure on the side, well, it's a sound maker. It also kind of shows if this is outward pointing thing, right? It kind of indicated a power structure there. So powerful people traveling, basically. So in appearance, it would be a cart with curtains. So there are some privacy within the cart, the space. So this is somebody who can afford to, or somebody who is in a social status that's intend to, like they're structured to have this treatment of luxury traveling with privacy, with curtains around. So that's the kind of cart we're talking about. Luxury carriage car. Imagine that. Okay, ang. Okay, ang means upward. The word came from the sun symbol over a person, and I don't exactly know what the right side is, but it was, the bottom is a sound maker. We can always explain, oh, that's the sound maker. But yeah, the meaning also made from the whole structure of that. So the sun on top of a person, that means when you observe the sun, you're very much aware of the sun over you, and you're looking at the sun like that. So that upward motion of looking at the sun, that's our ang. So it's upward. So xuan ang means this luxury travel carriage or car, with the curtains on, kind of attention attractor, or in authority projector, right, to show people that you're a certain status, right? And this on, like upward. So it describes the visual image of kind of like imposing, I guess, if we want to view it that way, like really get everything fancy and everything upward pointing. So you give you that energy going up sense. So if we use this to describe our personal air, having this upward motion, like the cart that pointing upward, it becomes like I translate it as grand, but probably it's not the best word to describe a person. They have this upward going energy field. And even if we're not a luxury traveling vehicle, but that sense is used to describe a personal air that at least you're upright and you have this grand vision around you, either attire or back then headgear is big deal. So by your packaging, and most importantly, by the air you're projecting into your environment, and people will read you as whether you have that vibrancy around you, whether you feel confident enough, right? So that's our contemporary concept. But back then, people also interpret to read people, right? Whether they have this air going. So this expression can be also used to describe this upward pointing, vibrancy on plants. So if they have the foliage, right, if they are pointing upward, that means they're well hydrated and they are growing as things are going well. They're still growing, not withering, so they're still upward going, right? So that's the sense of either on a person or plant. So it's a living thing. So you can read that feature of any living thing if they have this air, this upward going energy. All right. Cash into the currency of thinking by just one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.